While the state legislature is debating their shared revenue bill, the hometown sports team asking for a piece of the budgetary pie. As CBS 58's Emily Fannin with politics editor J.R. Ross discuss in today's Capital Connection, that might be a tough sell in Madison.
This week we had two of the most beloved sports teams here in Wisconsin asking lawmakers for some help. And we're talking about two different things here. Well, first, we're going to start with the Milwaukee Brewers, and then we're going to get into Green Bay and the NFL draft. The MLB commissioner here, Rob Manfred, sent kind of a serious message on Thursday that these repairs at AmFam Field are needed. And he believes he's confident that lawmakers can reach a deal to use public funding to make these renovations. Now, this is a package that we've talked about before here in the Capitol. And, you know, Manfred also kind of talked about, while he's confident, he talked about what happened with the Oakland A's and how they're anticipated to move to Las Vegas, doesn't want to see that happen here. So this is kind of just more of a development, because right now all the talk here in the Capitol has been really focused on shared revenue. But when you have the commissioner come here to Wisconsin and deliver this message, he's really asking for something to come pretty quickly.
Yeah, but the pieces have to fall together in Wisconsin for the budget, shared revenue, if we talk about really the Brewers. Yes, it's talking about money from the state possibly, so that implicates the budget. But shared revenue is kind of like the key cog right now to get the budget done, because Republicans want to have that package in place to build a budget around the idea of taking a penny from the sales tax and putting it into this new fund for local governments. With the Brewers, though, what's available and how might it come from local governments? But don't forget, the Bucks package included a hit from Milwaukee County from shared revenue, state aid that they had to put in. So there's some talk about whether there should be a local contribution, if there should be an ownership contribution. Well, you've got to figure out shared revenue, how it's going to work for, like what's available even at the local level. So it's kind of like on the back burner right now. We talk about shared revenue, the budget, and the bigger picture.
And the Milwaukee County Board of Supervisors also made a statement by that same day that Manfred visited on Thursday. They made a unanimous vote against putting any more county aid into renovations at AmFam Field. I would say because of when they put in state dollars into then Miller Park. There was a sales tax, a stadium tax for all 5 counties. It was very widely unpopular. And this was basically sending a statement that we don't want to do this again, but it is going to, there is going to have to be a deal eventually.
Well, there's this challenge, right? If you don't want to put local money in or government money in, public money in, is there is a contract that was signed between the board overseeing the stadium and the team of like what we are committed to do, which means upkeep. And if you read that contract closely, you have to kind of keep American Family Field in the top tier of stadiums. So if these other stadiums offer these amenities, we have to keep pace with the Joneses, essentially. If we don't do that as a state, then what happens? Is the team going to leave? Would they sue? I mean, there's all kinds of like what ifs right now, but again, it's on the back burner until we get through shared revenue.
Now let's talk about the Green Bay Packers, because there is a lot of excitement that Green Bay could be hosting the 2025 NFL Draft. And we had another visit from a lot of Packer officials, and Roger Goodell was here as well, kind of talking about the economic impact that will bring. But there's also an additional ask to add to that package of, yes, it's going to bring an estimated 250,000 visitors to the area. It's going to pump in an estimated $94 million into the state's economy. But everyone has to kind of buy in to make it the perfect event, is kind of what we heard from officials. And Republican Representative David Steffen, who is a Republican from Green Bay, formally kind of put forth a motion to request that the state cover about $2 million for the cost of this event. And that's kind of what we're going to look ahead to next week, because on Thursday, the Joint Finance Committee is going to take up tourism, and that's when tourism dollars are discussed, and this motion is anticipated to be possibly brought up.
It's an easier ask because it's one-time money, and we have a lot of one-time funds. Remember, we have a budget surplus of about $7 billion, the fiscal year that ends June 30th. That is not ongoing money. It's built up over time. It's there to be used. So if you do a one-time $2 million grant, it's only off that one-time pot of money versus ongoing obligations, or where you have to worry as a state official, okay, if we commit to this spending in perpetuity, it raises our requirement to increase revenue in the next budget to pay our bills. So I think it's going to be an easier ask. The question is the form it comes in and all that kind of good stuff.
And the timeline is also important, because they want to get this budget done fairly quickly, but remains to be seen when they get all these pieces, puzzle pieces together with shared revenue as well. All right, that will do it for this week. Thanks for joining us.